Hey everybody, this is Brian at the Edison Pen Company. We are doing our preparation for the DC Pen Show, and I thought I'd show you a little bit about what we have going on here. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but I'll show you kind of the stuff that we are doing. Let me switch around the camera. Hang on a sec. Well, hang on, I thought I had it. There we go. Alright, here we have a lot of Menlos that are going to be coming with us to DC. Now this is not all of the Menlos, these are just ones that we have prepped and ready to go. Hi Mike, hi everybody. These are all translucent Menlos, the ones that are really the most popular, and I think the reason that they're so popular is because you can see the ink through these, so when this thing fills, you'll see that ink sloshing around. It's really cool. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, take a look at our videos on making the Menlo pump filler. They're really excellent. Now these over here are some Glenmonts that we're finishing up. You'll notice that there's no clips on them yet because we're still working on them. There's a Harold Grande, and then my wife is placing some barrels for pearls because that's what she's working on right now. So those sections for pearls are done, but we are currently working on sanding and polishing the pearls. So let me show you. Andrea is working on it right now. What are you working on, a barrel or a cap?
Got a barrel.
Alright, hang on a second, I'll come over to this side. So this is the sanding lathe that we use, and you'll notice that she has this barrel for a pearl mounted on the sanding lathe, and she's sanding away. She'll take this through various grits, starting with about 240 going up to about 1,000. Essentially what she's doing is taking the barrels as they exist. Here, actually, let me show you. These are the pens when they come off the lathe. Alright, now that might look pretty good, but if this camera was slightly better resolution, you'd probably see that it's still very rough and not anywhere near sanded or polished. So that's what she's working on right now. So I believe that she's working on like a 320 grit right now. She already went through 240. Andrea, is this your favorite thing to do here in the shop? Sanding is quite tedious.
I like it. It's relaxing, I think.
Yeah. Now she's moved on to the higher grit. We'll stay with this for a while because she'll be done with this soon, and then we'll take it over and show you the whole buffing and polishing process and how this barrel goes from a rough piece of plastic to something that's nicely polished. Now the last grit is 1,000. If anybody has any questions about the process, go ahead and shoot them out there. I'm trying my best to run the camera and see the comments at the same time. If I miss something, be sure to just type it in again. So that is sanded. It still looks pretty decent, but wait till you see it with a polish. Gary Zambardino is asking, how do we keep it on the lathe? If you look at this, now I hope I can focus on this well, but that is a mandrel, and the mandrel has threads that mate with this barrel. So this barrel has internal threads, and you put it on the mandrel and then screw it on. So there's no way that it can go anywhere. Using mandrels like this is what makes it possible for us to work the entire pen without having to hold it in a chuck. Hey Andrea, why don't you take this over and start polishing, and we can see the polishing process. Mike says, had just started Brian Goulet's Q&A and stopped in when you came on. How would you recommend, oh, I didn't see that comment. How would you recommend polishing something? And then I just missed it. So if you can post that again. Sorry. So now we're on to this buffing wheel, which is like a coarse compound. Are production pens also made with this much care? Absolutely. Whether it's production line or whether it's the signature line, it doesn't matter. The quality is the same, and we treat them the same. The reason that the production line pens are less expensive is because we can do them without any customizations, which means that instead of making one at a time, we make 20 at a time. And then because we have distribution throughout the world, how would you recommend, oh geez, I missed it again. How would you recommend polishing something? I'm so sorry. Post that comment again. I apologize. So anyways, because our production line does not offer any customizations, we have the same process, but it's just an economy of scale. So volume goes up, distribution goes up across the world, but yet we can still do them with the exact same quality. The world needs more pneumatic overlay pens. Hey, we can work on that. I think so. Is drill speed varied during the process? Well, when you say drill speed, I'm assuming maybe you mean the lathe speed or the buffing wheel speed. The buffing wheel is always going to be at 1725 RPM, and the lathe speeds can vary the way that we want to. So I like to run them faster. I think my wife runs to like them slower. All right, here we go. I'm so sorry. How would you recommend repolishing acrylic to a wet finish after it gathers scratches after months? A really good way to do that, at least at home, would be a polish like Simichrome, but that might be like kind of like the last step. First, just try a wet buffing cloth, you know, or a soft cloth, and buff it as well as you can. Maybe put some soap on it because that will get rid of oils and grease. Here we go. That's a nicely buffed and polished barrel, and now it's going to come over here to join the rest. So there we go, and she's on to the other ones. So back to what I was saying, try like a soapy, soft, wet cloth, because that will oftentimes just get rid of the grease, and sometimes that's really the primary problem that you have going on. If it's still stubborn after that, then you can try a polish like Simichrome, and if not, then you know, obviously people can't always invest in these big tools that we have for buffing, but usually Simichrome and just buffing with a soft cloth by hand will do exactly what you need. So now Andrea is back to working on the cap for that same pen. I'll probably sign off here pretty soon because there's not a lot of new stuff to see. She's basically doing the exact same thing that she was doing with the barrel, but now she's doing with the cap. So obviously this is not anywhere near the pens that we'll be bringing to DC. We're bringing probably close to 300, but these are the ones we're working on right now. So we will see you guys hopefully at the DC Pen Show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great one.